Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Rage and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to be talking about a very special game to me. One of my favorite multiplayer games of all time and one of my favorite games of all time in general. Friday the 13th, the game, was one of the most fun games I ever played. And I consider myself very lucky that I was able to play this game back in its glory days, back when it was just getting started, and back when, everyone was still new and everyone was still having fun on this game. I played this game during a time period in my life where my own life was just full of craziness. Back in the day where I played this game, my life was a whole lot different than it was now. I wasn't a very big YouTuber. I was a lot more reckless. I had a lot more friends that were just as reckless as I was. I just played this game during a time period where things were a lot more simpler and things were also just a lot more crazier, but not in a bad way. This game is very special to me, and this game will always hold a very special place in my heart, right in the middle, man, because this game was it was special to me. To me, this was more than just a game. This game was very joyful for me, not only because of its gameplay, but also just because of the people I met, the friends I made, and the memories I made with them. And when a game does all those things for you, at that point, it's more than just a game. I mean, I'm sure other gamers could agree with this statement. Video games are more than just games when they become memories that are full of just pure joy and happiness. And that's what this game was for me. I will forever love this game no matter what, and I will never forget the memories I had playing this game. And it's honestly tragic that it had to die. Like, it really is, because the whole series of Friday the 13th is dead. Like, this franchise is never coming back. I know that there's a new upcoming TV series that's not even going to be featuring Jason. And to me, that just proves my point. This franchise is never coming back. Jason is never coming back. He is dead. Jason is actually dead this time. He's not going to come back. He's actually dead. The big boy is dead. Big J is dead. He's not coming back. And if he does, then hallelujah, but I doubt he will. But Friday the 13th, the game, was so good. The gameplay was amazing. The counselor gameplay was great. And both sides were fun. Playing as Jason was fun. It gave you the sense that you really were playing as this unstoppable force, or just this unstoppable killing machine. You felt powerful. You felt like you were actually striking fear into the hearts of your victims. It was scary when you were actually running from Jason as well. This was an actual horror game as well. Like, this was an actual survival horror game. The gameplay when you played as Counselor was amazing. The combat was great. Being able to fight back was amazing. It was fun. The game was also really balanced as well. I remember, people would try and bully Jason, but unlike Dead by Daylight, you actually have a way to counter counselors in this game. When Jason gets his rage mode, he becomes kind of invincible to damage. Like, he doesn't get stunned anymore. He moves a lot faster. His abilities recharge quicker. But as counselor, that just makes the experience more terrifying, and that's kind of the point of a horror game. And this really was a horror game. Like, this was a horror game at its finest, a survival horror game. When you were being chased by Jason, you had a stamina bar, you couldn't run for long, and that also put a lot of tension as well, because you see your stamina bar is depleting, and Jason is still right on your ass, and there's no cabins or there's no places to hide in sight. You're just running into a dead zone almost, because you're just running aimlessly. That puts a lot of tension because you're eventually going to die. You know that Jason's eventually going to catch you. That made the game a lot more terrifying. And then, of course, when you actually found a house, you would lock the door, Jason would be breaking in, and you would have to quickly plan your next move. Are you going to try and fight back? Are you going to try and hide? Are you going to try and run again? Like, it made the game so much fun and so intense. This was one of the finest multiplayer survival horror games of all time because it was actually scary. This game actually provided the intensity of a true survival horror game, and that's what made it so amazing when you actually played as Counselor. Running from Jason is terrifying, and I like how the game actually makes you think quickly. You cannot play this game, or when you did play it, and everyone did play it, you couldn't play this game like an idiot, because if you played like an idiot, you would have died like an idiot. This game will make you think. It will force you to plan out your next move carefully and quickly, and that just made the game all the more terrifying. This game really did put you in an actual Friday the 13th movie. This was one of the best horror movie simulators ever. One of the best slasher horror movie simulators, because it really did do a good job at putting the players in that role. You have the counselors, playing as a counselor, you're put in the role of the victims, the survivors, the Jason's helpless victims in the movies. And then when you play as the big man himself, Jason, you're just running around killing people. That's exactly how the movies went. Except this time, it's a lot more fun, obviously, because who wants to watch a movie, actually being there in the moment. That's what makes a game better than a movie. But, I'm getting off topic, but the gameplay is what made this game so good, especially when playing as Counselor. Running from Jason was great, it was terrifying, and also the combat system was also very, very good. Unlike Dead by Daylight, again, I like how you could actually outsmart and make tactics when you're playing as Counselor. Like there's actual skill to be had when you play as Counselor. You could play smartly, or you could play aggressively, you could play stealthy, or you could be that one guy that basically tries to drive everyone out when the car gets started, or when when people fix the car, or you could be that one guy that just tries to tackle all the objectives while your friends or the other counselors distract Jason. There was just so much fun to be had in this game. The combat system was great. The perks were great. The perks added more variety into the game. The objectives added more variety. I like how there is multiple ways to win the game. You could either get the car started, or you could try and fix the boat. You could call the cops. My favorite was always calling the cops and kind of outlasting Jason for the time period. That was always my favorite way to win the game, or at least try to, because basically when you call the cops, you have to wait 5 minutes for them to arrive, and then when they arrive, you actually have to run over to them as well. And that to me just made the game all the more terrifying and all the more tense, because you still gotta outlast Jason for that 5 minutes until the cops get there. Then you actually have to go to the cops, which just made the game so much better in my opinion. I remember my heart would be pounding when I would be running, or at least try to be running to the cops, and Jason would be right on my ass. I loved those moments, and that's the thing about this game. The moments I had playing this game were amazing. I will forever miss this game, and this will forever be one of my favorite games of all time. And I will forever want this game to come back. I know it's not going to come back. I wish it would, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is coming out soon, as you guys know. I hope it could be everything Friday the 13th was. I hope it could be better than Dead by Daylight. I hope it could be the best multiplayer asymmetrical horror game of the year. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I loved Friday the 13th. Let me know if you guys played this game and what you thought about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, take care, y'all. Peace.